The digital decisions you make may leave a lasting impression in real life.
So here to offer us insight into proper netiquette is digital trends expert and the CEO of a marketing Zen group, Shama Hyder. Welcome, Shama.
Thank you so much.
Very interesting topic here, and let's just go through a couple of questions, a couple of things that people come up against in the social media world, and they wonder how they should handle. Number one, is it okay to friend your boss or your clients on Facebook?
Not so much. So stick to LinkedIn, much more professional, expected that you would connect with professional colleagues there. Now, however, if your boss requests you as a friend on Facebook, you might want to think twice before not accepting that request. Yeah.
But can you say no if your boss does, send
I think it gets really tricky. It gets really tricky. So I would actually go ahead and accept that connection if they're the ones, coming forward, because you just don't want to go in the office on Monday and be like, oh, yeah, about that.
Yeah.
Be like awkward.
Might be one of those times you set up multiple groups as well on Facebook.
Absolutely.
Because the last thing you want is to be like, if anybody knows somebody who's hiring out, and then your boss sees that.
You'd be like, wait a minute.
Be careful.
Okay, so when it comes to online dating, should you Google them before a blind date? Should you find out more information? And then it doesn't really become a blind date, in my opinion. But
well, the chances are they're also Googling you.
Right.
So it's funny because you don't want to come to the table. I feel like having the same amount of information that the other person might. So yeah, I think that's so acceptable these days is to Google someone. But you want to be really careful because you remember a while back there was a rapper who was out on a date and he had his date sitting next to him and he got up to go to the bathroom and noticed that she was searching his net worth. She was Googling his net worth and he saw that, and then of course that was the end of the date. So you want to be really careful about doing your research before you actually get to
not at the dinner table.
So for safety, sure. For net worth, maybe not so much. Right?
Yes.
So we started to touch on this. I'm interested in what we can really do. So if on social media you are friends with colleagues and
clients,
family and friends and coworkers and perhaps clients, how do you manage all of those different groups of people so you can decide what you share with who?
So a couple of things, and so many people don't even know about these options, but if you have a business, for example, a good idea might be to just set up a Facebook page, a completely separate presence for your professional persona. But Facebook gives you lots of options. You have a public option, which also lets people subscribe to your profile, and that way they can see updates that you make public, but you can also create and curate private lists. So you can say, I'm going to create a list of my best friends and include, maybe 5 or 6 people in that list. You can have a list of clients. You can have a list of people in your neighborhood. So for example, when we're hiring and I'm looking for maybe someone just in Dallas for a job, I'll just put the update out and it'll only go out to the people in that region. So it's a lot, there's a lot of these options that you can play with to make sure that you're really targeting your message.
Will people know though if you've only put them if I have a list of people I like but I don't like you that much?
No, they won't. So that's a really good question. No, they won't. They won't know that you're, they're not seeing certain things or they're only, so you're good. You're good.
What about kids? This gets a little dicey now too with kids. At what age is it okay to allow them on social media websites?
So it's really interesting. Most social networking sites are 13 and above. You have to check the little box. But kids are starting with technology so young now, and I think it's a better idea to help cultivate them into that environment. And there's lots of great sites that are actually monitored by parents, by adults, that they can start with. There's virtual worlds out there. A lot of sites by Disney, like little social networking sites for 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds where they're playing and they're interacting with other kids, but it's all done in a monitored environment.
Minecraft.
Minecraft. My whole world is Minecraft these days. Why 13 and not 18? Do you have any idea why kids are allowed on a 13?
Because 13 still seems really young to me.
It does seem young, and now remember there are sites that are 18 and up, but 13 is the general rule. And I'm amazed at how many kids are younger than 13. They're checking the box and they're still on Facebook. So I think the best thing is to really talk to your kids about how to use social sites, how to be smart about it. Because even if they don't have an account, chances are they have friends who have an account. Of course, now technology is so ubiquitous, it just makes more sense to make sure they're well educated rather than keeping them from it.
Yep. How do you reach out to an employer on social media? First of all, is it okay if I'm job hunting? And do I just do it on LinkedIn? Can I do it on Twitter? What are the best ways to contact a potential employer?
Absolutely okay. I would say LinkedIn and Twitter are your 2 best friends. I'd avoid Facebook as it does tend to become more personal and then you're in that awkward who is this person who's
Right.
friending me? But Twitter's great. I mean, Twitter really is this huge bazaar, right, of people connecting with each other. So by all means, dropping someone a tweet and saying, just applied to your company, really excited about this position, especially if the position happens to be in the digital space,
Right.
then
Right.
that makes
You're
even
showing
more
you know how to
sense.
use it, right?
Yeah, I just got a resume for someone who wants to work at our company, and they had a little tweetable, their whole resume in like 140 characters on top of it. I thought that was creative. So I think in today's marketplace, anything that helps you stand out. So by all means, adding yourself, to their LinkedIn, on Twitter. Again, you don't want to be obnoxious about it. You're not doing this to say, hey, have you gotten my resume yet? But really just to showcase your passion.